I love the Nightmare on Elm Street films. From the first, right the way through to, well, the less said about that, the better. And I've also seen the cinematic abortions put out by Platinum Dunes in an attempt to reinvigorate the modern horror genre by remaking old films. So, the only thing that actually drew me to this film in the first place was the brilliant as ever Jackie Earle Haley, the badass character actor that recently shot back into fame through playing roles such as Rorschach in Watchmen and the crazy-ass mental patient in Shutter Island. From the trailers, he seemed to be the only redeeming factor. The diamond in the rough that I assumed was going to be a regular, run-of-the-mill, stale Platinum Dunes rape of a colour classic. An uninspired romp through slashertopia, totally missing the point of true horror through the overuse of gore, lack of atmosphere, and unappealing, unlikable characters. Oh, and not to mention the pointless, disarming backstory. However, after watching a video by the cinema snob and hearing his praise of the film, I decided that maybe I could have been wrong. Maybe I was one of those people that needed to expand my mind. I did really want to see the film when it first came out, but that was mostly because I was so dead set on hating it. After seeing most of the reviews at the time and having everyone jump on the fuck Michael Bay bandwagon. So, with the general consensus being that it was a phoned-in poor excuse for a movie with boring kills and shitty acting, well, I didn't really want to see it after that point. But oh, how surprised I was when I actually saw the film. So sit back and enjoy what is possibly one of the greatest surprises in modern horror. A Nightmare on Elm Street. So the film starts off with a pretty disturbing set of opening credits. It kind of sets out what you're about to see. There's one major thing that bugged the shit out of me about them though. The creepy child writing sets the tone, and it's completely legible. What really is the point of overlaying the actors' names with a standard choreo-style font? Are you really assuming that level of fucking idiocy on the part of the audience from the outset? Duh, I can't read the kid writing. I'm offended, movie. But given the people that actually liked the other remakes put out by this company, I suppose it's justified. It probably looks like their fucking handwriting. You'll gladly notice that Michael Bay is merely an executive producer on this picture. Thank fuck he won't be meddling about with it then. And it's an original script and story concept. The immediate response to that fact is, oh dear god, it's gonna be fucked! But come on, let's give the movie a chance. Before we take it out into the garden, nail it to the fence and fuck it to death with a rusty blade. So after the opening credits from Seven, the movie opens at the Springwood Diner. Oh look, it's got to be creepy. It's the seat of evil because it has a flickery sign. Oh no, Sprigwood. Terrifying. The tone is pretty eerie though, but it does set me in the mind of the Dream Master. The pissing annoying nightmare film that repeats the same sequence over a 20-minute period of time, over and over again, because Freddy locks them in some kind of time loop so that he can murder their cliched moron friends. So, we open to this implausible youth. Look, it's really early in the morning. I wonder what's going to happen here. The pissed off waitress clearly can't put up with any more of his bullshit and ignores him. But lo and behold, he's got to follow her. Now, this is what doesn't make sense. He knows he's having nightmares, and that they're out to get him. Either this diner is famous for shitty service, and you actually do have to stalk the staff around in order to get what you want, or Dean is a fucking idiot. I wonder which one it is. Oh look, surprise surprise, he's a fucking idiot. Oh yeah, this is clearly the real world as well. A flaming pig's head. Look at all the dismembered pig parts being cooked in the gore-strewn kitchen. Trust me, I've worked in a kitchen, and this is totally fucking accurate. To their credit, I do believe this poor sap hasn't slept in a week. Look at him, he looks like shit. Look at his sleepy pouty face. Ah! Freddy! Ah! That's him! Yeah, it's the point to carry on following the waitress. Go on kid, carry on. I'm sure your death is really going to be worth that cup of shitty coffee you're craving so much. Ah! Jump scare! Yes, the one problem with this film is that it does seem to carry on the Platinum Dunes tradition of shitty jump scare. But by rights, they had done a lot better in this one than most. But here goes. What the shit? That's Nancy. Seriously, dear fucking god. That's definitely no Heather Langenkamp. No, that's Rooney Mara, a girl famous for playing freaky indie girl characters. God, look at her. She reeks of I'm a tortured soul and nobody understands me. I don't fit in. I'll be fucking surprised if she isn't a tortured artist and somehow her artwork helps them unravel the mystery of who Freddy is. But anyway, she gives him some coffee and manages to ignore the huge gash in his hand that he's hiding so poorly. Then some blonde chick turns up after a pointless fucking jump scare. Oh god, terrifying umbrella. Shit! This is Chrissy, played by Katie Cassidy. Surely she's got to be as vacuous as she looks. She was in the Gossip Girl. I hope she dies a horrible death. Clearly from the original she will. She has some kind of emotional involvement with Dean that's never really clearly established. There is some concern on her part and blah blah blah. He's having recurring nightmares that are rooted in his past and some kind of childhood trauma, obviously. Oh brilliant. Here's a table of utter cunts. And yes, that bellend in the beanie is the Johnny Depp character, but this time called Quentin. He's obviously interested in Nancy, as mentioned by the prepubescent mess of assumed badass. Look at him grinning, that smug look of a guy that pretends to his friend that he's an arch pussy hound, but in actuality cries himself to sleep masturbating to pictures of girls he's friended on Facebook. Anyway, he's clearly had some kind of thing with Chrissy, or whatever her name is, and as a result, her talking to Dean throws the pretty twat into an angsty rage, and the cunt brigade quickly leave the diner, whilst Quentin apologises and runs away from Nancy with his tail tucked firmly between his legs, after establishing himself as the least unlikable character so far. Back to Chrissy and Dean. She thinks they're just dreams and refuses to believe that his fears are grounded in reality. She goes off to pee and he rubs his face. I wonder if he's gonna fall asleep again. Oh look, he has. Jump scare! Ah! Now here's the first piece of clever dialogue in a film that's already had 3 jump scares within the first 10 minutes. You're not real. Now, this point may have gone over the heads of most of the common mouth breathers that went to see this film. But as he mentions later on, Freddy's power is linked to the memory and knowledge of his crimes. By this singular act of cathartic unloading on Chrissy, Dean's doomed them all. Way to go, Dean. It's times like this people should keep their mouths shut and live with an emotionally traumatic and crippling situation, and deal with it on their own until it becomes their undoing and they kill themselves in an accidental and shameful masturbatory act, or at least something along those lines. Dean tries to defend himself against Freddy with his steak knife, and ends up making it look like he's committing suicide in one of the stupidest ways publicly possible. Yeah, I'm gonna cut my throat. That sure sounds like a quick and painless way out of my troubles. Oh my god, it's the title card. I'm glad that came up, because otherwise I would have continued thinking that this was just a particularly edgy episode of the OC. Oh well, at least the creepy music from the original seems to have gone untampered with. But anyway, now it's funeral time. Parents and kids and everyone else you won't really see much after this point, because the characters you'll be encountering for the rest of the film have already been established. Yeah, that's pretty much your lot. Enjoy the fucktards. Oh god, is the badass wearing eyeliner? But hold on a moment, who the fuck is that little girl? Wait, creepy little girl, blonde chick, open grave, what's about to happen? Jump scare! Yes. So, considering Nancy was the focus of the group in the original, and we haven't seen much of her so far, she's got a throwaway scene. Go away and do some angsty art. God, the dimensions of these characters are starting to make Not Another Teen Movie look well developed and fleshed out. So this is the point where Chrissy sees a childhood picture of her and Dean, and realises she can't remember that period in her life. And a conversation about dreams being real, and other people being at risk. Jesus fucking Christ. Freddy Krueger is just a fucking chain letter that can open itself and decapitate you. So, character development. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Is Nancy really sitting in the dark on her bed listening to her iPod? Fuck this movie. Fuck it in its stupid ass. She deserves everything bad that happens to her. Yeah, fall asleep, you two-dimensional bitch. Fall a fucking sleep. Okay. So this is one of the first reimagined scenes from the original. In the original, the FX guy for the movie famously achieved this terrifying effect by using a piece of painted canvas. And the anti-Christian element with the crucifix falling off the wall gave an in for the nighttime prayer that became so famous. This though, what the fuck is this?
Has her wall become possessed by some kind of shit demon? Is that what I'm seeing? I mean, kudos to the film. We haven't even seen Freddy properly yet. Not properly. Which so far makes it 1,000 times better than most horror films. But what the fuck was that? Seriously? My god. Anyway, back to some real plot development, rather than a shit excuse to give her fanboys hard-ons. Chrissy can't find any trace of her youth in the family records. No photos or nothing. It's as though her parents don't want her to find out about what happened to her. But here goes. She waits till her mum goes to bed, and then she goes snooping around. As far as the movie's gone so far, what are you really expecting? Of course she's fucking asleep. Because her mum said the photos were in the garage roof, she goes snooping about up there. Nothing bad could come of this, right? A dark room with only a flashlight. I think I feel a jump scare coming on. She goes through a box and finds a creepy-ass doll, and a dress the little girl that was actually her from the past at the funeral was wearing, and it's torn. The light goes off. Brilliant. 20 minutes into the movie and already... another fucking jump scare! Yeah.
I love the Nightmare on Elm Street films. From the first, right the way through to, well, the less said about that, the better. And I've also seen the cinematic abortions put out by Platinum Dunes in an attempt to reinvigorate the modern horror genre by remaking old films. So, the only thing that's stale Platinum Dunes rape of a horror classic, an uninspired romp through slasher-topia, totally missing the point of true horror, through the overuse of gore, lack of atmosphere, and unappealing, unlikable characters. Oh, and not to mention the pointless, disarming backstory. However, after watching a video by the cinema snob and hearing his praise of the film, I decided that maybe I could have been wrong. Maybe I was one of those people that needed to expand my mind. I did really want to see the film when it first came out. But that was mostly because I was so dead set on hating it. After seeing most of the reviews at the time, and having everyone jump on the fuck Michael Bay bandwagon. So, with the general consent actually drew me to this film in the first place was the brilliant as ever Jackie Earle Haley, the badass character actor that recently shot back into fame through playing roles such as Rorschach in Watchmen and the crazy-ass mental patient in Shutter Island. From the trailers, he seemed to be the only redeeming factor. The diamond in the rough that I assumed was going to be a regular, run-of-the-mill